Assalamu alaikum. Y'all looking good? Look like we got some visitors, huh? You all may be seated. I don't want to come here and put the fire out. Look like the minister was on fire. Well, I hope I can live up to what he said. All of you all that are here, that are already with me, thank you for coming. What that does is make a statement. And the statement is that Allah certainly is independent. If nobody shows up, you have. So I'm never alone. That's wonderful. If we do have others to show up, that's like icing on the cake. You know, we've been doing this for a certain period of time that has given us the ability and the knowledge to be actually free. Matter of fact, the knowledge that I've shared with you have put us far above anyone else that's on the planet, and especially our brothers and sisters that have no knowledge of this. It's almost difficult to speak with you all that haven't been with this at any time. You know, when I first got started as being myself, like it is in the lesson where the messenger taught, be yourself. And he gave us a diagram as to how to start and what to look for when you actually be able to be yourself. That was God after him. Is that right? He said, after me comes God, himself. Make sure you didn't think it was a woman. When I was speaking one day, or one of the scientists were speaking with me, and they said, Royall, you're going to find it hard to speak to anyone. I said, why is that? They said, because you're no longer a truck driver. You're no longer anything that they can classify you as. So if they can't put you in a class, they're not going to know what to say. And believe me, that is true. If I don't carry the conversation on, and they start asking me certain things in their natural life or what they're doing, there's no way I can talk with them unless I actually know what they're saying and answer what they're asking. But just to hold an ordinary conversation, don't happen. And those of you all that are with me, and I mean really with me, you may experience the same thing. You can't even talk to your parents. And don't let it be a sister. Oh, please. They don't want to hear nothing. And especially if you're a black man, and if it's another sister, they might argue with you. If it's a black man and you're talking about God or Solomon or Royall or some kind of divinity, which they have no idea of, partner, you got a battle on your hands. And if she's black too, I hear a lot of comedians make fun of the black woman. They be cracking and, you know, and facking, and however, it's just expressed in a negative way. But the truth is still there. So when the real man comes to say something to them, for them, you know, about them, he catches pure hell. And if he's married to her, and if he does not do what she says that should be done, then she got 250 million white folks behind her. And how many is of us? About 40 million. And as fast as they've been dying, it might be back down in the 30s. The fact is that, you know, you have the whole system that works, that's designed to work against the black man. And the sister, you know, if somebody can't get close to you, they can't do very much harm to you. Even if, just like they caught this brother that's supposed to be the sniper, they got to get close to him. So they got to find out what his family said, how they think, where he lived at, what he ate, who he talked with. They got to get close to him to really make sure the damage they plan to do to him, they are justified. So when your wife is next to you, your mother or your sister, you're living home with them and talking with them, and you come into something like this, the one that's close to you is the one that has the most effective dagger. So if you don't have a broad back, muscular neck, and eyes in the back of your head, you might be in a world of trouble. I don't know how I got off on that. Today, I wanted to speak about have you all labeled the tapes yet? Well, title it Allah. We want to speak about Allah a little bit. I want to see if I know something about him. You know, this is something that is extremely sensitive. You know why? Because as soon as you mention the name Allah, if you just mention it, not saying that you are, if you just mention the name Allah in your conversation, this automatically puts the person on alert. Because even if you don't say Allah, if you say Jesus or God, if you say God, well, you're on alert, but not that much. If you say Jesus, well, you're somewhat happily on alert. When you say Allah, it's like, whoop. And the alert means, the reason why you go on alert, because whatever you say, it should be from a base of knowledge. You got to have a foundation for it. So that's what brings about the alert. Because as soon as they say it, you search your thinking and you find out, I don't know nothing about it. And if this other person says some things and they know something about him, I'm at a loss. I can't reply. I'm going to look like I'm inferior. You know, Satan be talking to you. You know, you just a dummy. You know, he tell you all kind of things. Maybe. So right away you cut the conversation off. Well, look, everybody's Allah. You come with that thing that like to really make it general. You know, Allah's in everybody. Everybody is Allah. And Allah's not a man. All of us together makes up Allah. You know, something that is crazy. You know, and you can't make sense out of craziness. And they know that, so they got you. They don't talk about it. So today, since I don't think I'm crazy, so I think I'll speak about Allah a little bit. You know, because of the thinking of man, and I pray you listen, because this is real. Because of the thinking of man and not a person, let's leave it on the thinking. Because of your thinking and how you think, it has been developed either from the God of creation or the made God. White folks, you don't see not one in this meeting that's actually white or Caucasian. However, 3/4 of you in here are Caucasian. You don't speak with the authority of the Caucasian because you can't prove it by looking at you. You're black. However, all of the reasoning of the Caucasian, you're better than he is. Especially when it comes to dialoguing with your own self. Because the black man, woman, by nature is extremely submissive. Because they know by nature that's the only way anything is given to them, made available for you. You got to submit. So the man that is in our midst today, that has everything in motion, by you being black, you automatically submitted. So you're black white folks. Now, it's the same thing I heard the minister just speaking about, Minister Lewis, and how it makes a few people unsettled when he's being spoken about. This is the same way it does mainly with our sisters when you speak about the system. You don't have to say white. You know, like I said, you know, we just talking about thinking. You don't have to put no color to it. You don't even have to say it. It's already in you. If you're speaking about the system, especially if it's in a way where you're going to do something about it for yourself. You don't have to necessarily come against the system. You're just not going to go with it. And you're talking with your wife, your mother, or your sister about that particular endeavor or adventure. You're going to be hard-pressed for them to back you up. because that's their man. And to make sure that you, black man, do not get ahead and bring any problems to this man, they will take you to task. So it's like you're battling a white man in your own home worse than you would be battling him if he was there in person. Speaking about Allah now. Since this is true, and I hope you listen, because this is extremely critical. Extremely critical. And don't worry about what you see up here. If you don't want to see what you see up here, if it's offensive to you, all you got to do is close your eyes. You ain't got to leave. You can look away, or you can just shut your eyes and let your third eye stay open, and you'll get a whole eye full. Whoever stands before this black man, or shall I say before this white man in black skin, he better be Allah. If he's speaking about change. Now, I don't mean come before you as a messenger. He never said he was Allah. You can take that. You know why? Because it always gives you the false feeling of, I can beat this. He ain't the end. He's not the definite. He's talking about the definite. So we can halfway argue about it. It's his theory against mine. You say, well, I ain't got no theory. Yes, you do. I never went to church. Don't worry about it. You got one. I'm not religious. Yes, you are. I'm spiritual. No, you're not. You're not. In order to be spiritual, you have to be a person that does not deal with what you see. You got to deal with what you don't see. And when you do that, then you see everything. So since it's got to be that kind of person that's going to make you wake up, black man, and get the white man out of you, he better be Allah himself. Not no minister. Not no minister. Ministers don't come up against God. You may think, well, the minister's coming up against this country. I mean, he's really telling this white man off. He's not telling the white man off. He's telling you off. And you love it so much, you don't look to see ain't nothing happening for you. You're just completely satisfied that he's so interested in white folks that he's constantly talking about them. And he's saying what you would like to say. However, that's not getting rid of white folks. That is not the behavior of Allah himself. Are you listening? Allah himself comes before you and lets you know, look, hey, forget white folks. Forget white folks. Why should you, black man, the maker and the owner of all, even him, be concerned about what you made? Your concern should be coming back to be yourself. And in the process of that, no one or ones, plural, whether they're black, white, male, or female, has the authority or the right to stop you. Especially when Allah himself steps up and says, I'm here. Well, we don't believe that. Many people said they were Allah. That's the problem. They said it, and the white man in you knew that wasn't true. Because they said it. You know, it is a very important thing to know how to say a thing. Somebody come up and say, well, look, I'm Allah. And you look at the way they said it, please. I'm God. Just the way they say it, something wrong. In other words, the white man will rise up here and you let you know he's crazy. And then you speak, yeah, you're crazy. Because white folks inside you said it. You know why they can say it? Because they are God of this world. So they know God when God shows up. So when you ain't God and saying you God, he come out right away and say, you ain't God. It's much like brothers and sisters. You have a sweetheart. You have a wife. And you got a girlfriend. You forget which one you're talking to. You tell your girlfriend what you would tell your sweetheart. Baby, I love you. But you haven't been telling her that. She said, would you say that again? Then you have to remember, oh, whoa, wait a minute. There's no difference. If I come before you and say, well, look, what you've been looking for is here. And you say, well, what have I been looking for? I said, well, what you should have been looking for is the supreme being. Well, yes, I'm looking for him. Do you know where he's at? Well, yes, I have an inside scoop on that. Well, where might he be? I said, well, may I speak to you a little bit before I give you his proper location? Well, what would you have to say to me? Well, why are you looking for God? Well, he better come. The trouble we in. Well, what kind of trouble is that? Man, I can't feed my family. I can't find a job. And every time I look on TV or get the paper, and I have to get the paper from the news, from a restaurant where somebody else done left it, I ain't got enough money to buy the paper. I keep seeing these layoffs. I can't find a job, and it look like the people that had one lost theirs. It ain't looking too good for me. So God better show up. I said, well, if he does show up, how would you greet him? Oh, I would be utmost respect for him. Utmost. I'd have the most respect to anybody. I'd have to let him know I just love him. That's what you would do? Yes. Well, suppose I tell you that I'm Allah. Brother, please. The conversation was going all right. But now, you done messed it up. Then I started asking him, well, how did that happen? You can't be Allah. Why you say that? Because you're just not. Don't tell me that. Tell me why. Then I have to let him see he don't know what he thought he was talking about. He don't know what he thought he knew. He or she. Because most of you all feel like subconsciously that your nature is speaking to you and you know God when you see him because, your nature says, I don't know God. He'll send me a dream before he come. I don't know him. But he's standing right there before you. So when I say, well, I'm that one, and then you reject it, and I say, well, why don't you ask me this? Oh, my God. Why don't you ask me this? When did I know I was God? Why don't you ask me this? Is the angels in accord with me being God? Why don't you ask me this? What time was God supposed to arrive? And why don't you ask me this? What was God supposed to look like when he did arrive? And why don't you ask me this? What would he be saying when he did come? Ask me that. And why don't you ask me, what would he be doing when he came? Things that they never consciously think about. You see what I'm saying? Now, I didn't just tell them that I'm Allah and left it. I gave them something to go home and think about. Because once they can answer all these questions, they can tell Allah when they see it. Because they're going to start asking him questions. Well, where did you come from? One question I'd like to have answered, why are you waiting so late, man? And what are you doing now? I mean, I haven't heard of you. Why is that? And why do you look the way you look? Nobody going to believe you alive looking like that. Why not? Go ask the preachers. Let the preachers tell you how it looks. Some places it reads in the Bible, he had hair like wool, eyes like flaming coal. If you see me yesterday, I just finished driving. Eyes look like Satan's almost. Every thought that you have concerning the supreme being is backwards. And if you stop, black man, and ask yourself, where did you get your identity from that Allah would be or be like? Where'd you get it from? Do you really believe white folks is going to tell you what God looks like? When he's actually showing up? What he would be doing? Well, you white. So since you white, you ain't right. Especially comes to me. This is why it's written that he wrote, when God does come, he's got to make his own self known. Not that white folks don't know. That part of white you didn't get. You got the part that if somebody comes up against white, you defend it. So most of the time when I'm speaking with the black man, I'm speaking with the white man. And the little bit that the black man gets when I'm really speaking to him, what he filters and takes into himself, that's the part that the seed is planted. He goes home and thinks about it maybe for a year. I'm not going to any more of them meetings. Man come up there talking crazy. 3 weeks later, a thought comes to you, bam! He said that. Oh, I'll forget that. Now you're sitting up with your arms around your baby. I mean the big baby. You know, when you always say, baby, I love you. You got the TV on. And I come on TV. What? The man's on TV? Now listen to this. Since the man that you are was put on time by me, put on time, you shall have 6 days. No more. And on the morning of the 7th day, I shall come. And I will put you to rest. So because you have the mind of the Caucasian, you think everything is in a hurry. Especially at this time, because we are now in the morning of the 7th day. Rest time for the Caucasian. Time for him to rest. However, he knows what that means. Not that he's going to lay down and take a rest. It means that's the end of him. So you think I'm just like him. I have to be in a hurry. So if I came after the black man and I snap my fingers, I'm mad with white folks like you are. I'm supposed to be just like you. I'm mad with him. Because he's got us in a terrible shape. And the thing about it, most of you all, since you're white, you're not mad with him because he's treating you wrong. That ain't why you're mad with him. You're mad with him because he ain't sharing nothing with you. You ain't worried about him treating you wrong because when you get in his kind of position, you're going to do the same thing. And that's why a lot of you all, I won't say a lot, there's a significant number of the black man that comes to the meetings where I'm teaching or speaking, and halfway through of me sharing with you, you get up and leave. Because the white man didn't want to hear this. He'll speak to you, that's garbage. That ain't nothing. I came to see God. I came to hear God. This man is talking like any other ordinary man. I'm not ordinary. By no stretch of the imagination. Do you know what ordinary means? It means something or someone that you have ordered. You know, like I had the Sears catalog book. You don't order a supreme being because I'm the manufacturer. You order from me. Since there's only one creation, and I hope you listen, I hope you listen, I hope you listen. There's only one creation. And it within itself was so perfect that it repeated itself time and time and time and time again. Which is you, black man. You. Each one of you all are a process of the creation as the creator. Everything else that comes into being or into existence comes because of you. Are you all listening? Everything that you see here now is an illusion. It's a lie. Just like we have brother here filming this. It probably will be put on the air. And the people may see me, especially if I'm standing here. You see the light? Really, it's a lie. If I step back over here, everything that you see is an illusion. But you like it like that, white man. You like it like that. That way you never have to listen to nobody else. Because all of you white men never have no definite. Never. The only definite thing that you can agree on is make sure that the black man never wake up. Outside of that, there is nothing that they agree on. Nothing. Is that right, black man? White man? This is true. That's why, regardless of what evidence is brought to you, you argue about it. Because that's not you. That is not you. That's the residue of this world that you have lent yourself to and call yourself, and especially, don't go to college. Oh my God, don't go to college and come and say something about the law. Islam, I don't, please. Now, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, well, but Islam, or Allah, the most frightening religion to this day. And if you're in college and you're really being trained and taught how to be white, that don't go with it. It don't go with that kind of teaching. It just don't go. I've had people come to me and say, well, Father, I was in college and I first started, came from the messenger school and whatnot, went to college and started, and they would ask me to write a paper and elaborate on a particular subject or an idea or a word, and I write 2 or 3, explain it. They say, well, nope, you can't pass. You didn't say enough. Well, it's the truth. Yes, we know it's the truth. But you have to write enough so we can see how you got to it and see if there's any argument in it. Hey, y'all been to college? Am I misinformed? I didn't think so. You know why? Because, black man, this is a man that came from you. And since he came from a person, not creation, He don't have no definites. None. And as long as you are white and black skinned, you don't have none either. So when Allah comes to stand before you, and if he's really not Allah, he's going to get chewed up. If he really is Allah, I will chew you up. Gently. We wrote a song, Killing You Softly. Nobody can make God or be God but God. And the man that is the God of wrong or evil cannot be the originator of creation. Can't be. This one has to be brought in by the originator's permission. In other words, you are not no white man in black skin. You had to give permission for that to take place. Not you particular person, each one. However, when this was decided by the gods, no, I'm not going to do this myself. However, I see a time that this will be helpful to us. Yes, I will permit it to be done, so go at it. They went at it and produced it. And I myself will go under the rule of this man, since I am the creator, to learn everything that I need to learn about myself from somebody else that's showing me my defects. Speaking about Allah. So I will go under whatever ridicule, whatever things that are said against me in the negative, to find out what it is that I have to do to make my creation pure, absolutely perfect, in such a way that nobody has to go to the bathroom to do nothing. Because that act alone, before we made white folks, was offensive. So I'm not a God that's going to offend my own self. So I'm going to allow this to come up and be what it can be so I can study it. It's going to take me about 6 days. And after that, I'll have it. And at that time, whatever it takes me to go back and get my man, my own brother, my own black man, whatever I got to take, I'll take it because I'm God. And I don't mind it because there's a time on wrong and I'm the one that is perfect. So I don't never have to worry about being outlast. You're not going to outlast me. I'll wait and put you in a situation to just wait and let you kill yourself. Well, you going to do that to black people too? No, only the white man in the black. When you get tired of being white, black man, you'll come. When you get tired of being Evel Knievel, David Copperfield, when you get tired of turning tricks and being the trick, at least there is one that is God. And you'll know where he is. And by then, I will have outwaited you. If I wait for you, I'll never have a place to come to. Never, 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 never. Even if I was buried in the ground would spew me back up through a tree or a plant. Might come as a weed. But I'm the creator. Me. And I will outweigh every living thing that lives to make sure that there's nothing going to be on this planet or in it or in this solar system. If it is not absolutely right, it's got to go. It's got to go. This is something that every black man should be wanting. The first thing that we do is realize that we have been had. However, the sweet thing about it is, with your permission. It may look like you've been tricked. Well, how could this have been true if you were tricked and you knew about it before you went into it? If you already knew that you were going to have, at the ending of this duration of you going through suffering and whatnot, at close to the end, it's already written, black man. Now the white man wouldn't tell you he was black. He just said it's going to be a people from the seed of Abraham. For 400 years, You're going to be under the foot of a man that is your natural nature enemy. And he's going to do everything he possibly can to you. A lot of you, by the millions, he will kill. However, if he's successful in killing every one of you except one, he lost. That's how powerful you are. 400 years. And not only that, then we said in the 430th year, God himself would come and take you out from under this man with great substance. And he would punish the man that had his foot on you. It's written. And black folks didn't write it. These are scripts that we gave the Caucasian. And he put it in the Bible. These are scripts. So the truth is being told if it just needs to be understood. So if we already knew it before we went into it, how can you lose? Now, if you don't understand that, take your $2,000 or $3,000 if you can get it. Go to Las Vegas. If they will tell you the truth, if you could go to the manager, either one of the casinos, and ask them, say, look, I got $3,000. Well, play it up big. I got $20,000. What are my chances on winning and coming out with more? Maybe 1 out of a million. He's not going to just flat out and say, no chance in hell. Maybe 1 out of a million. You know why he can say that? Because it's already stacked against you. He did it. You're taking a chance. He's not taking a chance. He already fixed it up before you came to get you. And how to let you know when you go. You might say, well, Royall, did you go? Yeah. I stopped through and checked out Mr. Satan. I didn't spend no money. I didn't have none. But I was surprised. How are they going to rent you a room for $20? $25? Sell you a great big plate of food, smorgasbord, for $5. How are they going to do that? So since they were selling for those kind of prices, we stopped in. Hey, let's get our eat on. And what they do, listen carefully. When you are the happiest is when you're the rightest. And for Satan, white man, and I'm talking to the white man, you can bear witness to this, in the brother. I ain't leaving you out either, sister. When there is an establishment set up to get you, and the root of it is evil or wrong, they make everything appealing. They get the best of creation or what they have produced and put it on the table for you. Make it available to you. So when you walk up to the smorgasbord, they got the fresh lettuce. They got the best of melons. They got the organic fruit. And they're proud to tell you, this is organic. And you feel, oh boy, I'm getting rich. It is like nothing is wrong. We have put in your face right. So when we get you, you walk away just a little dissatisfied. At least you was confronted with right. I don't think you all know what I'm saying. You know, cigarettes has been so bad and it came against white folks so hard that they had to start taking it off the market, you know, as an advertisement. When they were advertising, they'd have the Marlboros, the Salems. They have the pack of cigarettes. But what they sold them from, they have the Marlboro man sitting on the big muscular horse beside the stream with the ducks in it and the water is flowing and the moonlight is glistening off the water. And you say, boy, that's beautiful. And when you realize it, the picture is gone, But the results of the cigarette is killing you. Now you got to go to the hospital. Killing us. We got to stop this. How they got you is with the truth. Now let's look at some of these ministers and these lying preachers. Well, Father, you shouldn't talk about the preachers like that. I should talk about them worse. You know why? Because they're standing up, supposed to be representing me. Supposed to be. However, they're more white than white. They don't even want to know about me, at least, let alone speaking about me. Don't even go and introduce nothing about this man to them. This man has got to be Satan. Well, if I'm the real Allah, and I'm coming to the real white man in black skin, I am the Satan to him. Because he sees in. He sees a conversation that he can't speak to. He sees a reasoning that he has no ability to deal with. So it's his end. So he said, well, look, I don't have nothing to do with that. I've been with Jesus too long. You have? Well, how come I can see you, but I can never see Jesus? I think the last time somebody saw Jesus has been a little bit more than 2,000 years ago. And if you've been with him, if you've been with him too long, you should be out of sight too. Are you getting my drift? Well, what I'm saying, black man, I know you wasn't going to come because things was uncomfortable. We knew that. I know you wasn't going to accept right because it's right to be right. We know that. Because you have made yourself be white. So you can go down to the unemployment office and lie. Go to the welfare office and lie. You want to become really white then. Because if you go there and tell the truth, you ain't going to get nothing. So when I come before you, I can't come expecting, well, just because they've been looking for God, I come and say, well, I'm God, and show them how I'm God, they're going to come. I got to have something to offer you in exchange. In the beginning, just a mere bowl of beans. Just a cot for you to lie down on. Maybe you have to share it every 2 to 3 hours. Can't sleep no longer than that. I know what I have to do. I got to have something for you to do. Not building a nation. Well, what does that mean, Allah? A nation here is already built. Yeah, but it's not yours. Just like we're here, it's not ours. We had to find out, well, what time can we come in? We can get in at 1 o'clock. Well, we got here at 6 minutes of 1. Well, we don't know no black people this prompt. So forget about 1 o'clock. You get here 6 minutes of 1, you wait. Now, how long can we stay? Well, you can stay until 6 and be out at 6. Because it's not yours. But you feel good in it because that's the white man in you. I am having problems. I can't hardly stand it. It bothers me. It's like the boy next door is greater than my son, and I know damn well he ain't. And I'm telling my son every day, boy, why you let him whip you up every day? What's wrong with you? Well, Father, he's 2 years older than me. So? He ain't nothing but a midget. Then the boy come over to my house, talking smart to my son in front of me. I'm looking at my son. What you gonna do, boy? Well, Father, she called the police on me, and I have to go. They're locking me up. You just going to go? What can I do? Well, you ain't seen your dad go nowhere, have you? Well, no. Didn't your mother call the police on your dad? Yeah. Well, what did I do? You didn't go. But that was back then, Dad. It's different now. Well, when does a man get to be different? Hold on, son. Let me show you something. Officer. My son is the only one that I have at this particular time. I almost wish I didn't. This complaint that has been filed against him, we'll take care of it. We'll be down tomorrow, straighten this out. The female that brought him up on the charges, we'll have our lawyer go down and take care of that. So there's no need for him to go. Well, he's got to go downtown and we've got to show where he's been arrested. Well, we'll go together, so I'll make sure I bring him back home. Well, you can't do that. Oh, why not? If I don't go, he don't go. Well, Mr. Jenkins, we don't have to get into that. We don't, but I am. This is my son. And I'm going down with him and bringing him back with me. And when my lawyer goes, when he goes to stand in place for the charge and speak for my son, he starts off right and exact. He uses the language to make white folks stand at attention. And the judge says, my God, this has got to be an erroneous charge. My son don't have to go no more. So I tell my son, see, if you had been a man and quit letting that boy next door beat you up, you would never have to go through this. Now, I want a grandchild. If you ain't going to change, I'll raise him. Maybe I'll do better with him than I did with you. See? I'm talking to you, black man. I got a few brothers with me, and the boy next door is white. He and you. You won't stand up and do what you got to do. You got to eat because you made yourself that way. He didn't. You're the creator. You made yourself with a thing called hunger. Then you produce land to grow the food to satisfy your hunger. Then you produce water to flush your body and give it life. You did this, black man. You. Not that white man that's in you. You did it. And the sad part about it, if we can say it, you ain't never changed it. You let another man come up, take your land. The key word is we let. Take your land. Take your real water. This woman just took her. You let him do that. You let him take all of the things that will bring comfort to you. You let him take it. Now the Supreme Being sends a warner to the white man in you and a messenger to you before I actually show up. Are you following me? This is, I'm attempting to share this where you really can understand it. Because it's very, very simple. It's almost so simple that you don't believe it. So I'm trying to paint or present a picture where you can see how simple it is, however, how real it's got to be. All of these things you allowed to take place. Now, when the God comes before you and actually stand up and say, well, this is what I'm doing. I have a system in place, and it's being worked by a few people, and it is successful. It is perfect for the time. The only thing that is needed to accommodate you is your participation. As long as we have built this bank in the middle of your community, and only 3 people come in and make a deposit and open an account, I mean, write your letter and accept Islam, the United Nations of Islam. You got your account. Only a few people come in and do it. But the bank is sitting right in your community. Then when it gets where you are absolutely destitute, forgot what money looked like, but you got to have it. Now you run to the bank. I need $1,000. Well, let's look to see if we can find your account. We can't seem to find your account, Mr. Jones. Well, this bank is supposed to help black people, right? Yes. You have that right. It is really supposed to help black people. Well, I'm in need. Can't you help me? We can't find your account. Well, how's that helping black people? Well, didn't you hear or read the brochure of the bank? This bank helps those who help themselves. So if you don't have an account, you didn't put nothing in. So I would be in error if I allowed you to take something out. Yeah, but, hey, maybe you can find somebody that has an account and they draw something out for you. But as far as me, the owner and the authority of the bank, the answer is no. So get to stepping. You might say, well, that's cruel. No, it ain't. You know what's cruel? You didn't open an account. That's cruel. And the bad part about it, while the bank is in your community, for your pleasure and for your security, here's another man comes up. He's got a bank, a picture of a bank. It ain't really a bank, but it's a picture. It looks better than the real bank. And the white man is showing it on TV all the time. How beautiful it looks. And the phantom accounts that's in it. And you're so excited because you can walk by it and see it. However, you can never find the door to walk in. Every once in a while you will receive in the mail a charity slip to send to that bank. And you're so excited because the white man in you is excited to have you to give to nothing. And you're excited now. I belong to that bank. Everybody's talking about that. That bank is it, man. That's it. Then hard times falls on the whole community. And you run to the bank. And you try to find the door and you go, oh, here's the door. And the thing falls down. You knew it all along. But the white man in you told you to go for it. Now you come to the real bank. We sitting in there like the Maytag man. Just as lonely. Real money. Real opportunity. Real stores. Everything real. Except you when you come in. You the only thing in that ain't real. So the answer has got to be no. Unless you speak directly with me. Directly with me. Then you'll find that Allah is not everywhere at once. Speak to you one at a time. And before every morning I get up, if I get up, you'll find me practicing how to say no. 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 You got it? Because this is real, whether you like it or not. Now, the imitation that you all been dealing with, there's been an imitation nation of Islam. An imitation. Silas, he's doing nothing. So it's not heard of. It ain't nothing to come against because they ain't doing nothing. The imitation Islam or nation has been the nation of Islam under the imitation leader. So you've given and you've given. And you know what? I can't really get on you because I gave. 1984, I went into the nation. They asked me to come in. They asked me. Because I'm driving up with a nice, beautiful, big rig. And every rig I got was sparkling. White folks used to ride by. They see their car in the hubcap on the side of the street and they ride by. Yay! For real, I'm not making it up. So guess what? The leader that loves shiny things saw it. He said, I know that, brother. We need to see if he'll haul some things for us. So they got in touch with me. I said, I'll be more than delighted. For the nation, absolutely. No problem. When I got there to do it, when it come to a couple of meetings, they were saying, wait, we're getting a temple in Los Angeles, and it's so much and so much, and we want everybody to pledge $1,000. $1,000. I said, well, that's not bad, $1,000. It's a pledge. You have time to pay it. So I pledged with it. I said, what I'll do, as they employ me to do the work, I'll pay for it out of what I earn from them. So whatever they would have to pay $500 or $1,000 for, I'll do it for $300 and still pay the $1,000. Thinking, you know what I mean? And to show that I really mean it, here's 150 on the spot. Bam! Put my name down. I'm for it. Oh, Brother Royall. You like that, huh? Yes, sir. So I can't say nothing about yours. You gave. But what you did, you just kept giving. I gave and I took a look. Something ain't right. Something is not right. How did I know? Because the work that I was doing for them, when they gave me the work, I would tell them, look, I have to do it this way. This is the right way. Well, we want so and so and so and so and so. Well, if you want that, it has to be done that way. And when I seen that nobody had no real grasp of how to do nothing, I said, whoa. If this is the epitome of what is here, then I'd like to see the finance man. He's probably thinking the same way. And now we can prove it. $5 million restaurant. Rodents running around in it. Built it for them. Sitting in a ghetto. White folks call it the white elephant. They don't mind doing that because it was a white man in Louis that had them build it. And it was a white man in you that helped Louis build it. I, in return, got a little diner. Seats about 40 people. The community looked at it and said, that little place, oh God. It was an old beat-up building. The brothers went in there and straightened it up. A black woman owns it, elderly woman. We said, well, what we'll do, we'll rent this from you. And we'll fix it up. And you lease it to us for a number of years. And do you have any young people in your family? Because it's going to come a time we're going to leave this. And we'd like to have young people that you have in your family come learn from us. So when we leave, we give it to them. Give it to them. Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Solomon. At that time, I was known as Solomon. Yes, sir, Mr. Solomon. We can do that. All right. So we fixed it up. Opened it up. The community said, we ain't coming there. We're not coming to no Muslim restaurant. I said, why not? You all do not believe in Jesus, so we are not going to come. You know what I said? To hell with you there. I'll come to my own restaurant. And what I'll do, I'll buy a couple of buses and go bring the people that's with me to the restaurant. And guess what? Now, I need to do something. Oh, you're scaring me. Now, we can't hardly get into the restaurant for white folks. Did you hear what I said? We can't hardly get in the restaurant for white folks. I went there the other day, I rode by. I couldn't even stop. They had a whole chartered great big bus. We should have had that bus. Great big bus sitting there, blocking up the whole front of the restaurant. I had to pull around the bus and peep back in. I saw Sister Lyota there. She was waving. The place was jammed. Whole bus load. Don't hope for 40-something seats in there. It looked like the bus was a 55-seater. The bus driver looked like two people himself. Are you listening? I drove on out and took care of some business. They called me on the phone and said, Father, they've now left. We can now accommodate you. I said, thank you. I'll be there in a minute. Get me a waffle. Get the mix mixed up, because I'm on the way. Yes, sir, Father. And I pull up, they're gone. White folks. And they just be so happy. Always talking. And everywhere we go to a new venture, a new place, we mention the United Nation of Islam, they never hear united. We get the cold, cold knife in the back shoulder. We have to specifically come out, and we are not affiliated in no way, shape, or form with the Nation of Islam, the leader of Minister Louis Farrakhan. Oh. And the doors open up. You see? God himself had to come and explain to you exactly what's taking place. And all obstacles that's against me, family and all. If your family is against you, my particular blood, flesh, and blood family is against me. Because they think they know you. So when you don't kick out the big bucks to them, then something is wrong. We're supposed to take the people's money. Do what we want to do with it. Not here. No, sir, not here. If they give it and they give such little, we don't have nothing to give nobody anyhow. We got just enough for it was stated. We have just enough, or almost enough, to make sure the doors are not closed. But that's not going to last long. Because this is the morning of the 7th day. This is the morning. And when one nation falls, something has got to take its place. Got to. And there's nothing on the horizon but us. There is no time left for anything else to get started. Ain't no time. Who's this rapper that just got killed? 36 years old. You all hear that? 36. Life don't mean no damn, does it? 36. And by your original length, black man, of life is supposed to be close to 1,000 years. It's supposed to be in comparison, or we made the oak tree to represent the length of our life. But in this country, even the oak tree is sick. Well, maybe I've said enough. Do we have time for a couple of questions? We do? So if anyone has any, are we going to ask questions? We got a mic set up? Oh, have a mic over here. So if anyone has any questions, you may ask Allah. Don't ask me. Ask Allah. Because this is who's here speaking with you today. Allah himself. And you might say, well, I would like to see some magic or something more than what you've shown. Get the tape and go and listen to it. If you can stand any more than that, look me up. Well, Father, you was doing nothing but talking. Telling the truth is more than talking. It's communicating. You know, I stopped on the way down here to get some gas. The vehicle that white folks made. You know, every so often you got to stop and refuel it. It's just aggravating. You know what I mean? So I had to go through this aggravation, stop, pull up through the pump. I had my little boy in the back seat. He was sitting back there ever so patient, waiting for me to get out. His mother jumped out, ran into the store. So I'm looking at him sitting in the back seat. He's looking at me smiling. So I popped the gas cap off the car, put the nozzle in the hole, and I looked at the pump to see if it started. And I looked back around. He was in the front seat, fixing to drive off. I said, whoa. I better get this boy quick. Don't let me drive off and leave you, black man. I mean, for real. Those of you that are already with us, and you're experiencing any difficulties, it's due to your thinking. There's a time for motion, there's a time for patience. And there's a time for study, and there's a time for action. If you cross up either one of them, you're going to have a problem. And it won't be because, well, Father didn't teach us right. How can you teach math wrong? Math alone bear witness to its own self. It ain't going to have no support. You can use it to support itself to see. But if you say 3 and 2 is 5, you say, well, I don't believe it's 5. Well, then subtract 2 from 5. You're going to get 3. So if you want to check it that way, but there's no such thing as teaching math wrong. You use it incorrect. That's why when the bank send you, you have overdrawn. Well, damn, how did I do that? And the good thing about it is, the comforting part is, you always know since math don't lie, if you keep a ledger or you keep your book, you can always go back and go through the numbers. Not no person. Not no person not even involved. Just go through the numbers. And they will let you know, oops, that's where I made the error. Or, wait, no, the bank made an error. And don't say they don't make errors. Since we run the nation, we can let you know they do make errors. So how are you going to teach math wrong? Like some of these people. Are y'all still reading that stuff on the net? That garbage? What Royall teaching is wrong. You know, he's tricking people. And how can you teach math and then trick somebody? That is, if you want to talk about an idiot, that is really an idiot. If I'm going to go ahead and teach math, mathematical thinking, teach it. So if I'm wrong, you can always see, oh, he's wrong. Well, how is he wrong? Because he didn't. Bam, there it is. So I'm going to teach you to find out where I'm wrong? When I'm doing it to teach you? Boy, that's anti-math. Would you agree? Don't let nobody fool you. Today, since I am literally, physically, personally, spiritually, mentally here, guess what? Who else is here? Satan. And guess what knowledge he always uses? He always uses mine. He waits until I put it out. I've gone a certain distance with it. And then when he thinks that you are not thinking, he comes up with a convoluted expression of it. Just to make you accept him. When you say how this is done, when he makes you doubt. Wait a minute. Did Father, this looks like it might be. Oh, I don't believe Father. Well, how could he? He must have did this. They wouldn't have been saved there. The key is, I don't have nothing to gain from a lie. Everything that was to be gained from a lie was to be done within 6 days. 6,000 years. After that, the lie has no power. Are you with me? So, the man that is math, not just use it, the man that is that, you're looking at it, he has got to be Allah. The all in all. Because if there's anything to exist, math has got to be applied to it before it exists. That's why even before I came, math was applied. On the 7th day, I will come. In the 430th year, I will come. Before it happened, Abraham, your seed will be a stranger in a strange land. Before it actually happened, math was applied. You get it? So be careful that you don't let Satan come in and let the white man jump up and down in you. You got any questions? Yes, sir. Be very quick if possible. Walaikum salam. It's on. Hold it up.
I wanted to ask you about, in the theology of time, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was speaking about the diameter of the darkness not being able to be measured at a particular point, but in his statement he said, we can measure it now. And then later he said, ask me later about what I meant by it couldn't be measured before.
Yes, sir. Darkness is ignorance. Or if you mean literal darkness, this means space. If you can measure space, you can measure the literal darkness. Because where there is no light, there's nothing but darkness. Outside of this universe, which is supposed to be 76 quintillion miles in diameter, not in circumference, in diameter. Outside of that, darkness. You got two other universes. Outside of them is darkness. When the sun leaves, or when the earth turns away from the sun, you have darkness. So it is immeasurable if you're dealing with it in space, because there's no end to space. However, we can deal with the darkness now and give an accurate measurement to it when it comes to where it really counts. Out of the darkness came light. Superior light. The author of light. The supreme being of light, which is God himself, Allah. And for that, to bring his people back into the light, out of the darkness that they have been taken back into or agreed to go back in with, we can measure it and give and tell its diameter and circumference. And I just gave a few. You got 430 years, black man, to be under this white man in darkness. And you can only stand this if you are ignorant. You cannot be a live man. You can't be that way. And when we send a live man to you, look at your record. You killed him. The last greatest one that you killed, supposed to be Jesus. In our day, you can say Martin Luther King. But that small time stuff, like the messenger says, is over with. So we have measured the darkness. If that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. May I ask another?
Yes, sir. Far away.
You mentioned about, you really answered it. Perhaps you can reiterate on it a little bit. When Moses brought a teaching to the children of Israel, they didn't have the proper teaching or knowledge of Allah to really be able to question him properly. My question to you is, how do you, and the messenger mentioned this also in the same tape, how do you test information for truth if you've never been taught the truth? And again, you went into it when you spoke about mathematics, but perhaps you could reiterate or go into it a little further if you could or would.
Well, this is one of the things the messenger used to say to us all the time, especially, and I was glad he was saying it, although it was ineffective. The messenger would be teaching. And before you could really hear what he was really saying, your brothers and sisters out in the audience, that's right, the holy apostle, bam, bam, that's right. You don't know what the heck he said. I used to get so mad, I'm like, why don't they just shut up? Truth sticks with truth. When it is being told there's something in you, if you're an original man, that answers to it. There's just something there. And when you're hearing it, if it's for the first time, if it's right and it's truth, it fits with your nature. It's like putting on a brand new pair of shoes that fit. You say, ooh, they're even soft. You know, before you put them on, before you looked at them, you couldn't bear witness to it. But when truth is told to you, because I sent the message, I'm the one that prepared the messenger. You might say, well, man, please, how could you do that? You stand up here. That's right. I'm standing up here in my own royal robe, my own. I didn't use nobody else's. I didn't come in no master. I come myself. Before I came in, the master said, Master, allow me to use your body. Since we made your, yes, sir, Royall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raise up one. And I'm going to teach him a message to get ready for me to come to get my people. I want to make sure I don't lie. I'll be here on the 430th year to take him out. Well, I really can't say no. I appreciate hosting you. So I raised the messenger up. And what I did was allow him to have the knowledge to share with you that which is true. And how he got you to know it's true, he started telling you about your conditions and why it is. You was living it. All before then, man, I don't know why this white man just won't, he can't see, he don't understand. Then Elijah comes out, the white man's the devil. You say, oop, oh. That answers it all. But then the white man, bear witness to it. And if you say, well, I'm with Elijah, I'm a follower of Elijah. Oh, really? They try to come up charges, make you go to jail, all kind of stuff. To bear witness that what you heard Elijah saying is true. Now, when he talks about the space and the man came from total triple darkness and all, he said a lot of things that rang to your subconscious that your conscious wasn't able to pick up on the time. However, I saved that little bit for me. You know, like you come, you be in dire need. You need $1,000, to keep from being put out. And you come to me. And I got 2,000. I may let you have the 1,000 because I got another 1,000. I'm going to be hard pressed. You come ask for 1,000, I got $1,001. And I let you have the 1,000. Other words, what I'm saying is, I don't give it all up. So when he did what he did, I come along and give the meaning of it. How in the world can you have total triple darkness? What? You mathematicians that know so damn much, how can you have that? How can you have total, triple darkness? And you hear the black man running around and think he's God. Yes, we were created a total triple darkness. And they talking to white folks. Or they talking to the white man in you. That is something that's impossible. So I had to say that so to leave room for me. Total triple darkness. Meaning that you're dead spiritually, that's one darkness. Totally dead spiritually. Totally dead mentally, that's the second darkness. And totally dead physically, walking around like a zombie. Totally. That's what that really means.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And I'll finish by trying to put, well, I won't say it, put three into one, but I'll put out the 3 points.
Yes, sir.
If you could touch on briefly the point of multiple marriages.
Yes, sir.
And the mother plane. If you could briefly tell us something, especially in light of that movie, what is that? Independence Day. And the final point is I'll ask a question that you gave earlier. How are you, Allah? If you could answer that briefly, or maybe not so briefly.
Well, how am I allowed? First thing, just the name. Royall. R-O-Y-A-L-L. R-O-Y-A-L-L. 2 words. And it really isn't a name. It's a description of a particular level of one's being. Not a name. I had a royally good time. I was with the Royall family. I got a royal ass whipping. So if you're wise enough, the name alone lets you know. In case you're not, what's being said that fits with the scripture of what the prophets predicted will help you. And then what Royall is doing that's different from anyone else will let you know. Then the language that Royall uses cannot be in the same way and configuration as this world uses it. It has to be in a way where everything, even if it is in a humorous way, is still positive. It has to be that way. Just like I said, royal ass whipping. Yes, man. You know, that's it, but I didn't say it that way. I said it in the way of learning something that you are familiar with. So that helps you to understand it. I have to know all. A-L-L. So I have to know how to come to you. And I have to know what answers your prayer before you pray it, because I've seen it before you were born. So I put in motion what I need to put in motion to answer the prayer. Now, just for the mere fact that you or no one can ask me a question that I'm unable to answer. If you think anybody can do it, try it. Try it sometime. If you're brave enough today, I got some questions to ask and see if you can answer it. Now, the mother plane. The mother plane it's compared to a 2-bedroom apartment as opposed to an 8-bedroom mansion. Both of them do the same thing. You want to lay down and take a nap, you can do it. But if you got an apartment, there's something always next to it. But you just got a part of the whole. That's why it's called apartment. If you got the 8 to 10 bedroom mansion, even the way white folks does it, he puts a little land around it, let it stand there by himself, so that when he invites 9 people to his home, he can at least have 7 of them devils, and the other 2 can be righteous people. Means he always got the upper hand. Are you following me? I don't want to talk. In other words, it's large enough to accommodate what you will. So the mother plane is a plane that we built for the express purpose of showing the power of the black man and to do war with this Caucasian or the enemy. Are you listening? And it is large enough to be the spacecraft that will transport you to different places when the time is right. And it also is called the mother because of the deadly little planes it carries. When you want to travel as a family, you do it in the mother plane. When you want to have the attack mode, woo, you have the little plane. If that answers your question about the mother plane, it does many, 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 many things. But there's a lot more room on the mother plane than it is on one of the small crafts. You can live on the mother plane, and it can produce its own energy. Matter of fact, if it was able to be attacked, it can also heal itself like your body. If you scratch it, your body heals itself. You're getting the Holy Ghost here. Okay. I should have you with me a long time. Well, that's what it does as far as the mother plane. There was something else you asked me. Multiple marriages. Woo! Stay away from it. No, I'm being humorous. You know, for real. I want you to listen for real, brothers, because you asked me. I'm going to answer the question the way it should be answered. That is a glorious and a wonderful thing. A glorious and a wonderful and divine thing. When you take on more than one wife, and if you do it right, there's nothing better that you can expect from life. Because now you've got water that you can clean yourself with, water that you can bathe in, water that you can swim in, water that you make love in, water that can give birth in. It's a wonderful thing when you do it that way. However, in order for this to work, and I pray you listen, in order for this to work, that white man that's in you got to go. To explain it, there is nothing definite about the Caucasian in his thinking. He is a mass of incompleted ideas. There's never no period to what he does. And the female is the same way, whether she's original or not. They are not God. That's why water has a tide. It comes and goes. The woman does the same thing. However, what holds the woman is the man, like the land holds the water. I don't care which way she goes, how she goes up, down, whatever, because, you know, water does go up. It evaporates and forms a cloud. And if it gets cold enough, it comes back to her man, land. Right? So when she leaves you and curse you out and got white folks to beat you up and leave you, and then she's home listening to Lou Ross, you know, or Jerry Butler, you made your move too soon. Yeah, I got to go back. So once you become a man, and I have gotten rid of this. Now listen to this, black man. I know you all want it. If you don't, something wrong with you. And if something wrong with you, I don't want to know it. What will produce the climate and the environment for that is you being a man. And that is that you do for yourself. You don't go downtown and ask the man nothing unless you go down there and find it. Look, I understand that this Sears building you got up here is for sale. How much you want for it? Go downtown for that. But don't go down and say, look, I don't have a job. I got 9 children, and they're hungry. You look at this, so? Don't do that. And then, well, how did you get 9 children? Well, I got 3 wives, and we gave them 3 apiece. So I got 9. Really? Go call the sheriff. You have to present a situation where there's a need for that. You understand what's being said? So, until that has happened, until you do this, stick with one. And see if you even really got hurt. You know, because as long as you won and you're going to work 9 to 5, how many hours is that? Is that 8 hours? 9 to 5. I can figure that if I said from 9 to 3. 9 to 4. I can figure that, or 8 to 4. No, math don't let you out do it. And you're not home for 8 hours. You're not home. Now, if your wife is home and you so dumb you ain't give her nothing to do, after a few years, Jody be coming in. Now, something will happen even quicker than that. If you're going away for 8 hours, she's going too. She's working on her job with Bobo, white man, and you working on his job, Bobo. So who do you think sees the man? Or she sees as the man? Well, honey, how was your job today? How was your day? That damn white man, he's well, if I could just get rid of him, I would have the job would be so wonderful. You're telling her that the white man has more power than you. So then you ask her, well, how was yours? Oh, I had a lovely day. Man went and got it. He even gave us a couple $1 raise. I used to go get a coffee. He brought me coffee today. Tell me it don't happen. So you got your wife, but she ain't your wife. I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. Well, Royal, do you have more than one wife? No. Oh, you did. You're a lot of things. I call them wives. I have a wife, and my wife has wives. Of course, she lets me talk to the other one. Well, how do you manage that? What prophet do you know had one wife? Prophet. What messenger do you know had one wife? Messenger. Which one? They come up with this to really fool you. Come up with this Jesus thing. Talk about him like he never even had a woman. Didn't even know what one looked like. Except for the one that was at the well. Now this might be offensive, but I am the God. If it's offending you, so what? You ask me the question, I'm answering it. And the way I'm answering it, you will have some kind of ground to go on. You have a support, how to think. Black man, you don't have no woman. This woman here is not your woman. She ain't yours until you first you be with me. And we're together, then she becomes yours because you can take her. And all of you Christians that's looking at this on TV, that's looking at it or listening on tapes, whatnot, you're liars to think Jesus had no woman. Not only did he have women, he had children. Plural. And because your lying devil didn't tell you, you can think that he's so holy. That ain't holy. That's crazy. And we got a whole bunch of people that's coming on TV today trying to pretend that they're Jesus lovers as Christians and they're priests. Abstaining themselves. The hell they think they are? They're greater than me? I say you're supposed to make love. And you want to tell me, well, no, we're not. We're going to be with you. Hell, you ain't with me. I make love. We got to think about this in a realistic way. And this is why when you do something wrong, you raise your hand to your woman, you would never have to raise your hand if she respected you as her man, not her boy or her male. And she got to respect you from what you do, what you say and do. I don't have to raise my hand to my wife. I can just give her the look when she goes crazy, and sometimes they go crazy. They have a moment of insanity. And you start, I don't have to say, I just stop looking. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, baby. Hey, all right, then. When you get to be like that, then you can have more. And those of you that do have more, you're getting by by the skin of your teeth. I don't know teeth to have any skin. There is a couple that I have blessed with that because I want to see them make it. When they came to the nation, they already had 2 or 3 wives. And I damn sure wasn't going to make them leave because they come to the nation and they're going to be so pure only have one. They came with 2 or 3, so hey, you must have been doing something right. They ain't left. So more power to you. I'm going to add to you. So I won't look bad. Well, I answer your question, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't mean to.
Yes, Father.
Yes.
Me again. Yes, sir. I was all the time thinking about this one thing that you did said about what we should ask. Let's say the people who won't believe that God is a man, that you are Allah. The question, why so long?
particularly why 6,000 years this man had to, have his foot on our neck.
Because 6 is the number of God. In other words, the last planet that the God was known to be was on Mercury, or Mars. And counting from Pluto coming towards the sun, that's how you count the planet, not from the sun going out. Most people think you're supposed to start, number 1 is Mercury, Venus, Earth. No, that is not the way it happened. It happened from Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, right on up. And so the last known home of God in its physical state was Mars. That's the 6th planet. And that's why the 6th.
Simple enough.
In other words, we say 6 days, 6,000 years. We gave 1,000 years for each planet. So what do you say? Well, God planet means he planned it. Not it was a planet and then something happened, bam, and we call it, whoa, there's a planet. Oh, no. We put it there. It came from a plan. And we call it planet. And we explored and did everything and developed every planet. And when we got to Mars, that was the 6th planet. And when we got started to come here, God is here, but we haven't finished with it. He was here, and there was another God here that we allowed to be here called Satan. And we gave him some workers called Caucasian or devil. And so there's 2 gods here at the same time, or we did this. It was God was here, and he decided to leave so the other God could come or show himself. And since we allowed this, he said, look, for 6 days and that's it. If you ain't finished your work by then, off with you. And by then, we will have the period to you. By then. And then we get ready to step into Venus, which would be the 7th, or Earth, which is the completion of this, is the 7th planet. So the number of this God, after he solved the problem, now becomes 7. Not 6. Got it?
Sir? One other?
Go ahead.
The formula for ending death. I know you have one.
Oh, yes, sir. Only thing that is identified as death is the absence of energy. You can be sitting here and be paralyzed in the arm or something, like a hand, something. You can't move it. It's dead. Death. That part is dead. No energy goes through it. So all I got to do is keep the energy going. And I already have that too. Not bragging, but I just like to remind myself of it. Since we ain't got to it yet, I like to remind myself. And another thing too. The older brothers and sisters that's with me that are experiencing death. There is no shortcut around right. You cannot do wrong and expect right. If you're supposed to accept certain things and you won't accept it, you're going to die. If health is offered to you and you don't accept it, you're going to die. If certain foods are offered to you and you've been used to eating your way for so long you can't change and go, you're going to die. It's that simple. I'm not changing something just for you unless there's a special plan for you. And the only thing I can find special today is me. All of y'all can die, but if I die, it's really gone. Everybody's expendable except me. Well, God, that seems to be a little bit personal. When it gets to be that, I got to agree with you. A little personal. If that answers your question.
Yes, sir, it does. And
yes,
just once again, always a pleasure to be in your midst. All praise due to you.
Same here. If you take in energy that requires no second force with it, you can't die. Let me say it again. If you are taking in your body, first your thoughts, if they are absolutely pure and positive, you can't stop thinking. If you take physical energy inside the body, where there's only positive, there's no negative that comes behind it, you can't die. You can't die. What kills you is negative. And that always rides behind positive. You got that? That's what kills you. Yes, sir.
Praise be to thee, coming person. First, I want to ask
You want to say Master Rahman?
Sir?
You said Master Rahman. Who came in person, Master Rahman?
I'm talking about the Almighty God coming in person. Trust.
No, I'm waiting.
Yes, sir. Believing that I'm speaking to Allah.
Yes, sir.
And that's for us. I'm looking for some understanding. In the and you may have you may have already answered this question. Probably the brother asked him before me, if that is enough. But for some reason, I feel necessity to answer this one. It's on page 18 in the flag of Islam, and but the master actually asked that we hope that the scientists and the scholars look deep into these words. He talks about, and I'm cutting this sentence in part. He said the other six refers to the very beginning of our making of the earth, which was done in 6 periods of time.
Yes, sir. Those are your planets.
Sir?
Those are your planets.
Yes, sir.
And if you're talking about 6 periods of time, it also goes to the prophets. Each one you had 3 major prophets. Each one had 2,000 years. Then you had 600 years to actually produce the Caucasian. You had 3 times 2 of that. So it depends on how you want to look at it. See? So the earth, we can't say it's complete because I'm talking with you about a spiritual matter that God is supposed to be doing. So we can't say it's complete. A period hasn't been placed. The period is here, but we ain't placed it yet. See? So that's what it means. So the only period that we can say is Mars. Bam, it's period. It's completed. It's like you can't give, what is a biography, autobiography? The person got to die first. Is that it? I mean, you can't give it until he's dead. You can place a period behind it. But as long as the person is living, you can give a biography. I think it is, right? But it's not autobiography. You give it, because the person can change. But once he's dead, ain't no changing. It's the same thing with Mars. God did this, so that's number 6. So 6 periods. If you want to go with this is of the earth. 6 periods. You have from years where it talks about 6 trillion years, 76 trillion years, 78 trillion years, 66 trillion years, according to however you want to look at it. If that answers it. Was that too general? Is it understood? Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I was listening.
And just before that, this is what we have here. The black man, we don't count him. He's created. Then you have the brown man, 2,000 years. The yellow man, 2,000 years. The white man, 2,000 years. 2, 4, 6. Talking about the earth. They control the earth. That's your 6 again. 6 periods. Yes, sir.
I was listening to a tape of yours, and you stated that you was negative free. Can you explain that?
Yes, sir.
When I understand that you need opposites for life.
Yes, sir.
Negativity and positive. So when you say negative, I know some people can look at negativity as doing something that is considered bad or that which causes life. That ends life. So when you say negative, free, what do you mean?
I don't have a energy or power that runs through me or to me that will cause any friction that will bring me to death. My physical flesh does not have that in and of itself. It's in the water I drink. It's in the food that I eat. It's even in the thoughts that you give me, a sin to it. However, since I am negative free, nothing sticks that's negative. There's nothing of me that you send or give me that this body will take and hold on to it or magnify it, because it ain't nothing there to magnify it.
One question. So if you're negative free, then how can you explain the existence of anything without positivity and negativity?
Well,
you have to have the two.
Yes, sir. You had to have it until I came. This total triple darkness that you were built in or made in, that came from, the material that was used in producing you automatically had negative in it. Automatically. Now, because of the making or the appearance of the sun, which you see every day that gives light, because of that, and a certain area that's around the sun, are you listening? A certain area that's around the sun produced a negative free zone, which reaches 7.5 million miles out from the sun all the way around. And that's where I self-created myself in that zone. So I have a knowledge that the original law didn't and don't have. Because I didn't create myself out of darkness. It was light. So when it got time for me to appear, to talk to you, to make sure that you don't trap me up, I, having the knowledge, came full person or in the material, absent of the negative, because I planned it that way. And the original God, or Allah, was in agreement with it. So this is why it talks about in the Bible a new God or a lamb, a new lamb. Or they sang a new song to this particular person. Or this lamb came and took the book from he who sat on the throne. Because he was the only one that was worthy. Nobody else was worthy only because they had negative. Everything has everything has it. And this is why, you listen. This is why I cannot fail in being your deliverer. You can fail to accept it, but I cannot fail being the deliverer. If you ask me and I answer it, I provide a place for you to grow. If you come and say, well, I want to do something to grow in my thinking. All right, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about water. All right, start working at this plant here. We got a water plant. Start working at it. Or look, go to Africa. We got a contract there to deal with them on fresh water. Go there. You meet somebody, I tell you who to meet, start working there. And whatever your thinking is, that's where you put to work. And in motion, not sitting down studying, in motion is when you learn. And when you're in motion, because your nature is really calling for the answer, I got to give it to you. You don't have to see me. Just for you wanting it. It's almost like saying, oh Allah. Or like the woman that don't have time to say Allah nothing. She just run and pick the car up off from the baby. Because she see that the car is crushing her child. She go with one hand moving and pull the baby out. And then she gets and say, well, you moved it. I did. She didn't call on God. Just the need for that to be done. She did it. So the same thing with you. We need to have real clean water. We need to have real clean, pure, positive energy as food. We got to have something better than an apple a day. Our food is going to be our doctor. We're not going to have no apple today to keep the doctor away. There ain't going to be no doctors. And what I feed you is going to be pure energy, no negative, after I get rid of the source of negative. I don't know if you can understand that, but that's how it happens.
You was mentioning.
In other words, before you say anything else, think. If it were not that way, there could be no such thing as a new God. It would be just like it's written in the Bible. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Then it comes in Revelation. He makes all things new. He didn't say he makes all things different. Or he makes all things better. He didn't say that. He makes all things new. There be no more crying, no more pain, no more sickness, no more death. Doesn't it read that? The only way that can be done is from one that does not have the characteristics of death in his very creation and making. He seems strange, but this is the kid.
I think I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
What black man was made or created to fail if he was to stand up for his people and lead his people to himself?
Let me see on that.
What black man was created to fail if he's standing up to teach his people and to lead his people?
Well, if he is not the one, then he's going to fail. First place, you don't have no people. You're part of the people. Anybody else? Minister Farrakhan, Warwick Dean, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Fred Price. I don't care who you name. They are not no savior of nothing at this particular time. And they can't stand up and save no people. They can't even stand up and speak for the people because they are the people. I'm not the people. I don't have negatives, so I'm not the people. I am the one, the independent one. So anybody stand up for their people, you're fooling yourself. They're being fooled. They fool their own self. The little knowledge that they got, and they express it to the ones that have no knowledge, makes them think that they got something. You got nothing. You cannot whip this you cannot whip this white man. And you sure ain't gonna get past the Jew. You can forget that. You can just hang it up. You're not gonna sit at his table unless you Elijah, and he know Elijah ain't coming back unless I bring him. I mean, he'd leave a chair at his table for him. But he can rest assured and sleep good at night because Elijah ain't showing up. Because even if he did come back, I ain't sending him to the Jews. You see? So that kind of talk, that kind of thinking will get you killed. Not somebody going to kill you. You won't be able to make it into the hereafter, or you will not allow yourself to be delivered. Because you think you know. I'm not specifically talking about you per se. But that's the trouble of the black man. Now you got the Black Panthers. An animal. When does it... Haven't you seen white folks make panthers jump through loops? They make lions lay down and roll over and play like Rover. So you're going to do what? You're going to get killed. Brother, if you know somebody that's thinking like that, tell them, please don't do that. Look up the spiritual head of the United Nations of Islam, which is Allah himself. And I do what needs to be done on my time. I don't seek no approval from no one else because you don't know. It's not that I'm hard-headed and I won't take any suggestions from you. I most certainly will. I'll take it, I'll weigh it, evaluate it. That'll work. And I use it. Well, if I weigh it and it don't fit in the plan, I say, no, I can't use that. I might can use that next year, but right now I can't use that. It's that simple. You know, I'm almost to say that's a problem that I have, but it really is not my problem. The black man is God, and he thinks he is with nothing. Yes, ma'am.
The brother asked a question about the more than one wife, and I've been hearing that come up quite a bit lately. And from what I understood, you shared that it's to be done based on purpose. However, in the experience, most people or brothers make that determination off of something they came up with in their own mind. However, it's not necessarily a justification. So the question is, would you bring clarity as to what that means and how we can go into motion to make intelligent decisions on what and when and how
All right, well, yes, ma'am. For anyone that have more than one wife, you have to be doing something that justifies that, meaning that this is the way the white man does it. You all might understand it because you're white. You get these big companies, like DuPont, Enron, and all these different places different entities that have really worldwide businesses. And they need more than one woman to handle many different things because they're handling many different things. They most certainly have a need of a secretary. Most certainly. And if they're going to have any children, they most certainly have a need of a mother for the child. And if they're going to be world travelers, they most certainly have a need for someone that is of refinement and that knows other cultures and languages. No one woman is going to do all that. Well, this is the way white folks does it. Even if he has an employee that's very crucial to the business, he may be making $200,000, $300,000 a year as a base salary. Then he gets something like $75,000 a year for another woman. Different women. As he goes to different places. But he don't marry them, so you can't say he's got more than one wife. And usually the one that is his secretary is not his wife, but she is. She's more his wife than the mother of his children. Because she knows exactly how he thinks, where he done hid the money. She knows where the contract is to mess him up. She knows who he killed. He go home to his wife. She said, "What happened today?" "Oh, today was fine, baby." He don't tell her nothing. Because he knows when something go down, the first thing that's going to happen, they're going to go to his wife and say, "Well, look, do you know anything what your husband is doing?" So he won't tell her nothing. You see? So when it is done right, when you're actually doing something, let's say that you're actually really cleaning up the water. And I'd like to see somebody do that. Now, for doing that, you need a research person. And this is how you tell whether you really need another wife or not. It's got to be a person that you're going to have that is absolutely loyal to you. To you. If not, somebody can come up, buy you out. Meaning they'll sell you out. Like you see the government catching these people, giving the Russians the secrets. Well, if the people that was holding the secrets was his wife or wives, it wouldn't be given away because she loves her husband. If you want to get it, you ask my husband. I'm not telling you nothing. And then he'll have her in such a position they can't get to her like that anyhow. Now, if he has another man, only has one wife, and has all these other men handling these different things for him, a man is always created. He will do it for a certain time, but he's doing it because of you or for you. That's not him. He's God himself. He wants to do something. So he might come to you one day, "Well, look, I appreciate it. I've been working for the last 5 or 10 years for you. You're a wonderful boss. But I've made a better offer. I come up with a plan of my own, and I want to see it through. And I do thank you." Gone. But if it was a wife, you may say, "Well, baby, are you going to leave me?" "Leave you? Oh, please. I'll never leave you, baby. You my man." And he knows it because there ain't nothing she can think of that he ain't got it that far. If she wants a new knowledge, he whips it on her. "Baby, did you know it's 31 months in next year, and I'm doing it just for you?" "Really?" She has to check and say, What? 31 months? Say, "Yes, baby, I want time to fly." so we can get to our next adventure. Other words, you got to always keep them intrigued. And what you're doing, the work that you're doing, usually does it. And they're going to be loyal to you because they are your wives. Other than that, the people that's working for you is their job. It got nothing to do with you. You understand that? So if you don't want to fail, and the only thing a black man or man period can own is his wife. That's all. You don't own the water, you don't own the land, you don't own nothing else but your wife. You don't even own your daughter. That's why you got to give her away. That's my daughter. Oh, really? That's the daughter that came from me, but I don't own her. I do have the right and the authority to give her to whom I please if she accepts it. If she don't, go against my will, then well, you get in trouble, don't come ask me for nothing. You know, you allow him to take you, so let him take care of you. Man, that's a mean God. Yes, I'm just like that. Other words, I'm saying it so you get the real point. That's the only reason why you can justify having more than one wife. Outside of that, you have no way to treat them equally. You can't treat them equally. When one wife knows that this is the mother of the children, and she's having children, even if the secretary has a child, and she still remains a secretary, then the wife takes care of the child. Her child. Because that's what she does. So now they are in love with each other in such a way that they depend upon each other. However many wives you got really function as one. Well, I get off of that. I got it and I know it works. I have more than one wife. I'm not going to tell you how many. I got to go count myself. It works. You produce real friends that way with each other. They know each other. If they're not around each other, they call and they speak to each other. And things that you think you told them in secret and think they're not going to tell. Before you can say Johnny Rabbit, all of them know. So as long as you're truthful and never lying, they can't never catch you. But they look like they don't even be trying. They just slip up on you anyhow. Ooh, you told me so and so and so and so. I did? Why did you find that out? So and so told me. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Now, but if it's true, you can say, yeah, I said that. Well, what do you mean by that? Oh, it means so and so and so and so. Oh, I just love you. I didn't know that. You got it? Yes, oh, you back, huh?
Yes, sir.
You like that subject?
Sir?
You like that subject?
Oh, yes. Good subject. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to just ask you about the history of martial arts. I'm a martial artist, so I was wondering if you would share some knowledge about martial arts.
Yes, sir. You know, we had, in order for us to go under this white man, or under any other man other than ourselves, we had to start submitting or lessening ourselves in knowledge. You know, martial art comes after we gave up how to deal with things in the unseen. Have you all ever seen the picture, what's the name of that? No, it's a martial art picture. Master Kill. You seen it? You seen him when he wanted to go to the 35th chamber? And he was in there, oh, teach me it, and he just did like that? Well, see, they got that off us. They didn't have to jump around. They didn't have to do all that kind of stuff. We knew how to do that. Now, when it got to be, well, armies was coming in and dealing with us because, you know, we didn't just give up. Well, white folks supposed to stay here, so we'll just sit there. We didn't do that. You know, we had a couple of swords and so forth and whatnot, and these white men was coming with all kinds of other things. So we started to do hand to hand. And we were so good at it that the Chinese and Japanese took it up. We knew how, if you got cut, you didn't bleed. Yeah. Wouldn't bleed. They show you all that. You think in the movies that it's phony. That can be done. That can be done. We knew how to do all that. Then it got to a point where knowledge was still lessening. We were still losing it. We were still losing it. Then we got to the point where we lost that. We was at a point, even what island is it? It escapes my memory now. These particular brothers, they weren't all the way brothers. Meaning they weren't all the way black. They could be shot. They was in the army where the white man came against the whatnot. They were shooting them, and they wouldn't die. They wouldn't bleed. And the white man blew his mind. He said, how the heck could they do that? Black man's a bad man. So after this, in our decline in knowledge, we got very good with the hands. And that's why it originated. The exact date or year, I'm unable to bring to your, because we don't give that way. I couldn't find out. But since you already at the arches, maybe you can tell me. But I'm telling you the reason why it came about. Because we were not able no longer just to use our mind to make things happen. We had to now employ the body, the physical part. And we got to be very, very good at it. And then the other races started to take it up. And as we declined, some of them still kept it. Because they are what they are. That means if they're Chinese, that's what they're going to be. They're not going to be nothing else. How much they strive to be something, they can't. It's only the black man that can go to be nothing and come back to be everything. That's all. So that's what's happening. So if you are hand in hand, if you're a hand man, I think I got a couple of hand men with me. I ain't bad myself. I know how to run. I'm on the deal. I don't ever get myself in a situation where I would need that for me. That's coming from me. Now, if somebody's crazy enough to just do it anyhow because I say I'm a law and they don't like that, well, I'm going to take him out. Because I've had people to say that. We went to a meeting in New York. We went to a theater there in Brooklyn. And I got up and spoke. Brother stood up and said with his hand, man, whatnot. He said, if you lying, we're going to take you out. I didn't quake nor quiver because I wasn't lying. I said, well, I understand. And if I'm lying, I would want you to do that. But I'm sure it ain't going to happen because I'm telling you the truth. And if you so decide to do it anyhow, then I have something to go home and tell my wife, brag about it. You know, I took that brother out. I didn't hurt him too bad. He'd be at the hospital in 2 or 3 days. Y'all think I'm kidding them? Can you imagine what I can do? Can you just imagine that? Can you imagine a person that can make your eyes still when you can't blink them? I mean, I didn't go staple them to your forehead or put them in a toothpick. You know, you can't close your eyes. Can you imagine a man that can do that? Want me to try it on you? Can you imagine a man to make your heart beat 3 times faster than what it should be? And you can't slow it up? You say it's been done? Yeah, it's been done. Can you imagine a man doing it to another man? Okay. Oh, okay. That's all. Leave him alone. You know, this is our Savior here. One of the Saviors that think maybe he's the Savior. What he's saying is true. But I'm going to go past that. I had to do it this way. If he wants to, he can come to the mic. And I do like, you know, brothers had these fast cars. Spot him. Go for it and get your best hope. And holler when you got it. I won't even take off until you holler. You want to do that? Go right up there. Go to the mic. We want to get this on film, right? So what you got to tell me?
What I have to tell you?
Yes, sir. I'm spotting you.
No, sir. I don't have anything to tell you.
I'm disappointed.
What do you have to?
In other words, the way you was explaining it from the seat.
I'm just throwing light right back at you. Light compliments light. That's all I was doing.
Okay. I thought I hadn't went far enough.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't have no challenge. Well, as long as he's bearing witness to what I'm saying is true. So that don't require any hand to hand. You know, I'm going to say this and then I'll take the next question. Just to let you know, sister, you know, men is men, for real. That's what makes you all lovers. When we're being men. You know, Messenger said one day he went home, you know, they just kept trying to kill him every day. And Sharif was one of the main ones. Raymond Sharif, Supreme Captain, just constantly tried to kill the messenger. Messenger left the temple, went on home, got home, and there was a brother waiting up in the bedroom. Big brother. Going to do the messenger in. The messenger saw him, and the brother attempted to do what he was going to do. And all of a sudden, he left running and screaming. So the messenger asked Allah, which was me, what did the brother see? I said, well, you don't want to see that. He said, I want to see it. Yeah, I do want to see it. I said, you don't want to see that? I do want to see it. So I showed it to him. Scared him to death. But I wasn't there. No hand to hand, none of that. Wasn't there. Then it was another brother that left Brooklyn, New York. He's going to go to Chicago. Handman, deadly. Checked into the hotel. Locked his door from the inside. Never came out of his room. When they finally got in to the room, the brother had strangled himself on his own saliva. Never touched it. That's the kind of man I am. In other words, you don't come to do nothing. You can come to do something to me. I find that humorous because I don't have no negative. Well, if you come to do something to my wife, she got negative, and I will remove that. You're going to hurt her. I'm not going to let you hurt my wife. I ain't going to let you hurt my child. I damn sure ain't going to let you hurt my messenger. You're going to come there. You're going to come there and kill him. Oh, really? Okay, go ahead. And when you get there, I'll be waiting for you. You don't believe me, do you? You know what? In a few days, you're going to see me work. I'm going to do a little hand. I might have you with me. With me, not against me. We'll do a little hand-to-hand on some of our enemies. And then I'm going to tell most of y'all stand back. I want a big crowd, like in Tennessee. I want 10,000 of them to see. Stand back. You know, like Moses said, stand back and watch God work. All humor aside, this is real. I have no problem performing that. It's not done under these conditions, under humor. It has to be a real need. And when there's a real need, nothing fails me. Not even when there's a real need for you, black man, to show up. You're going to show up. You're going to show up. And you're going to be as one. And when I speak to you in your ear, when white folks is really coming, when they come back out of this war, when they leave here and go over there and start looting and send for your sons and your daughters to come and empty the prisons to go over there to help win this war, and they still lose, when they come back because you with me and didn't go, who do you think they're coming after? Because the white man is going to say, damn it, if this is my end, them niggas is going to. But the thing of it is, he's not going to find a nigger. Not with me. He's going to find God. The real one. Well, I hope I've answered some questions. Anybody got any more? That's it. This is for real. What we need to do today is to prepare a place for us. I've already got the system set up. All it has to be done is magnified. Are you listening? And don't think, well, he's talking about farming and canning and doctoring and, you know, and warehousing and transportation and communication and food and clothing and, you know, he's just talking about housing, all that. And, you know, this is something we do every day. You don't. The only relationship you have to that every day is pay the man that does have it. You need to fix one of your own. And I got it going. And ain't nobody else coming up with it. If it could have been done, it would have been done. It was our plan to bring Wallace, the messenger's son, before us to test us. That was done. Then it was our plan to bring Farrakhan back to remind us of the message and what the messenger said. He did that. And then it was our plan to allow the hypocrite to come before me and weed out everybody that is not going to be right, that's affiliated with this. And that has been done under the name of Lewis. That's been done. It ain't nothing left to do except for me to show up and get busy. And I've shown up and I'm busy. So much so I'm doing everything myself almost for the few that has accepted. Now we have a minister here, Minister Titus, that represents us and myself here in North Carolina. You all are blessed. You should come immediately. All of you. Immediately. Learn what you can, because when it gets to the nitty gritty and you come and you still dumb, you're going to be on the very outskirts of it because you're not wise enough to come before us or amongst us without causing problems. So you should come now like they do with white folks. You don't just go get no job of any importance until you go to school. Sometimes the job is so important you don't have to go to no college. You got to go to the school that they have and be trained. We don't train you. We just teach you. So the longer you wait, it ain't against us. It's against your own self. And remember the bank. The bank I have is real. The bank you've been playing with is a toy. Now don't wait until you have to go and withdraw from it and find out that it was only a prop. Is that clear? I want to show my love to you, and that's for real. I'm doing it. I'm showing it. However, you have to accept it. I've placed the clean water before you. I'm not going to make you drink. I'm not going to be offended because you don't drink. If you're that polluted, I don't want you drinking the water. You might pollute it. I want to save you because I want to see a flame go up. And it be you in the fire. And this fire, I already have it set up and waiting for you. It will take place in Ohio. And I'm going to raise the ground up 6 miles high in the air. Especially for those hard-headed hypocrites that know every damn thing that's against me. I'm going to burn you and burn you. First, you're going to be in the deepest part of it. And the others that were just hypocrites, just because you want it to be, you won't get it first, but you're most certainly going to get it. This is the God that is here to save you. And this is the God that is equipped to save the earth and all that is within. And before I leave here, everything is going to be perfect. Before I leave this earth, everything is going to be perfect. Now, if you're not going to be that and you can't leave, then we have the fire. Believe me. I'm not saying it to frighten you. I'm letting you know that this is a plan. It's being carried out as I speak. And since you have a flexibility in thinking, I've come before you as a physical person, as Allah Himself, so we can dialogue. Hypocrites, disbelievers, liars, I don't have to necessarily talk with them. Their fate is already sealed. I did that before I arrived. And the Christians call it the fire of brimstone. They call it hell. It's in Ohio. It will start there and go over this whole planet. Accept it or leave it alone. I really am. I can't help it. I really am the supreme being, the all and all. I am not the best knower. I am the all knower. I am the perfect one. I really am. And this is something that is great for you because you are the recipient of this, me. You are. I didn't come for no other people. I didn't come for the brown man, yellow man, red man, or white man. I didn't come for that. However, I'm a God in such a way, if they decide to be with me, I'm not going to hold them back. If they fail, it's because they failed. Not because I wouldn't let them be with me. This is real. And I'm not afraid of anyone or anything. If you like what you've heard today and you can't find nothing wrong with it, then magnify it. I've already got it going. Thank you for coming. Assalamu alaikum.